Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Ifeoluwa Olusoya, and today I'll be talking about being perfect. Yeah, I know that sounds ironic because nobody's actually perfect. Let's take a short break and we'll continue from there. Like I said earlier, no one is perfect. We all fail at some point in time. But the world's most resilient people are not afraid of failure. They're not afraid of setbacks and defeats. They don't shy away from the pain. They embrace it. They use it to fuel them, to enhance their frame of mind, to embolden their pursuits and emblazon their spirits. You want to know the truth? Success cannot be achieved without failure. As much as our society frowns upon failure, and as much as it might feel like the embrace of defeatism, failure is a necessary evil. It's not about failure. Whether you failed once, dozens of times, or even hundreds and thousands of times, you're defined not by the number of times you failed, but how you look at those failures and bounce. Failure is the final blow. It's the proverbial nail in the coffin. They take a single solitary failure and they allow that to emotionally ruin and debilitate them. They allow their lives to be defined by their failure, cowering them into a corner, hiding in the aftermath of despair, succumbing to the suffocation of defeat. Yes, I understand that failure hurts, but resilient people know how to bounce back from failure. They utilize the inherent power and focus of the mind to absorb the damning sting of complete and utter failure. However, anyone can bounce back from failure. Anyone can implement any number of methods to allow them to overcome the stifling sensation that sets in when you fail. The truth is, the mind conceives what it says. When we focus on the problems that arise from failure, that's what we actually see. However, when we turn these problems around and see them as stepping stones, looking at our failures simply as markers or milestones on our way to a bigger and brighter goal, something revolutionary begins to occur in our mind. When you overcome your failures, enduring the seas of hopelessness, ultimately emerging on the shores of hope, a huge transformation occurs. It's quite possibly one of the most monumental and life-alerting experiences that you can ever possibly go through. And even talking about it sends goosebumps across my body. Now, let's talk about from failure is not something that is easy. It's not something that is straightforward either. In fact, not everyone is able to muster up the strength to be so resilient as to not allow something so ego-defeating like failure stop them dead in their tracks. However, considering that the most famous and successful people in the world have failed the most time, bouncing back has become the hallmark of success. It does not matter how many times you failed, it does not matter how painful those failures were. What matters is what you do after a particular failure. How do you look back at the failure? How do you respond? Do you wallow in self-pity, allowing all those negative thoughts consume you? Or do you pick yourself right back up again and give it another try? That's the big difference. That's what creates a foundation for greatness. Mediocrity is quite easy. It's easy to play it safe in life. It's easy to avoid taking any risk for fear of failure. But that is not a life. That is not called living. Don't allow a thing like failure discourage you. Don't allow upsets and defeat deaden your spirit. Try it again. Give it another shot. Why give up, especially after you've suffered through the pain? You've already endured the hard parts. Try it again. The first thing to do is to be honest with yourself. Don't try to sugarcoat the fact that you failed. Don't try to use softer words to lessen the impact of that failure. Don't beat yourself or be honest with yourself. Resilient people who bounce back from their failures do so because they don't live in that state of defeatism for too long. Yes, they allow themselves feel the hurts associated with the failure, accepted. They don't escape from it, but they also don't stay there for too long. While it is easy to allow resentment and guilt to overcome you on the best of the days, you cannot constantly continue to do that. The true hallmark of persistence and resilience is not allowing the pain I sent across today goes out to someone out there, and I hope it affects and touches a soft spot of you and actually I hope you try to make amends with whatever thing you might be battling with that this might actually affect. Well, don't forget to hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and also share to your loved ones. We'll meet again.